Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev.
The entire Bharatvarsh in Satyuga of the first Satyuga of Swayambha Manu. So his capital was Avanti, today's Ujjain. Today's Ujjain was his capital. So he had a very deep desire to see the Lord face to face, Shakshat Darshan of the Lord. So basically there are three stories of Lord Jagannath. So I'm beginning with the first story. So once, a palace guest, a person who had come as a guest there, so, he related a very strange event that he had witnessed, while he was visiting Kurukṣetra, Jagannātha Purī. So this guest, he visited the kingdom and he witnessed before that he witnessed a very strange occurrence, in Kurukṣetra, Jagannath Purī. Every night he saw demigods coming down to worship the deity of Nila Madhav with fragrant flowers and devotional prayers. Nila Madhav, a very beautiful deity of Neelam. Nila Madhav was the deity made up of blue sapphire. The deity of Nila Madhav was made up of blue sapphire. The whole deity was made of blue sapphire. Like some time back I told you, right? The ruby which Tirupati Balaji has, it's worth, more than $30 trillion. So this, even though we can't calculate, what is the value, because it's Lord's Murti, so we can't value it like that. But even then you can imagine a whole Murti of Lord, Nila Madhav, made up of blue sapphire. What amazing Murti that will be, So demigod used to worship with fragrant flowers and devotional prayers. So that person says, I've developed this, I've developed this ecstatic love for the Lord, just by seeing this. So enchanted by this story, King Indradumna, he deputed his Brahmin priest Vidyapati to search for the Lord in Orissa. कि भगवान कहाँ है, कहाँ पे आते हैं demigods worship करने. He told his this main Brahmin Vidyapati, and he took all the Sainik and everyone, and they started searching. And so by Lord's mercy, Vidyapati entered the forest around Nila Madhav hill and was received by Vishwavusa, the chief of the tribal woodmen. Okay, so after they offered their obeisances to each other, then Vidyapati revealed his desire to attain darshan of Nila Madhav, who was being worshipped by Vishwavasu. So Vishwavasu said, "Friend, my friend, a tribal legend tells that someday a king will come to worship our Nil Madhav. Providence has brought you here. Come see our beautiful deity." Upon beholding the indescribable attraction of the Lord, Vidyapati offered prayers. "O my Nil Madhav, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the reservoir of unlimited bliss. Only by your mercy can one understand your divine form." So then Vidyapati soon left Niladri, the Nil Madhav, and appeared and went to Avanti to meet the king and tell him the good news. "Oh, I have found Nil Madhav." So this Nil Madhav, because it was blue sapphire, so just like Krishna's body, which is very glassy, and it is Tapta Kanchana, very effulgent. Krishna's body is very effulgent. It emanates effulgence. Similarly, this Nil Madhav deity was so extraordinary that even though it was in the forest, but during the night time, it illuminated the whole forest. Just by the effulgence of Nil Madhav, the whole forest was illuminated. But it was so amazing that when you are standing in front of the Nil Madhav, then you can see the whole forest illuminated. But when you take a bird's eye view or go far away, you don't see anything there. You don't see anything there. So this is, amazing, Krishna's Achinta Shakti. That when you are in front of Nil Madhav, you see everything is illuminated. Like, in the, day and night match, how much they are illuminated, right? Full. But the moment you go out of that place and you try to see that place again, it becomes totally dark. You can't see it anymore. And then you go take a bird's eye view, you can't see it. You can't find that place. So only by, mercy of Nil Madhav, you can see him. Otherwise, you can't take the darshan of Nil Madhav. So King Indradumna, he gathered all his belongings and his army and every, all his devotees, everyone, and they set for Odisha. So upon entering the state of Odisha, the royal procession was met by the king of Uttar, in the present day Odisha, the king of Utkal. Unfortunately, the sovereignty of Utkal conveyed some bad news. O King Indradumna, it is a good fortune that you have come to this sacred land. However, recently a vicious storm created havoc in our country and covered the area of Nilachal with sand, and hence the deity of Nil Madhav is lost. Hence the deity of Nil Madhav is lost. So the Nil Madhav deity has been lost. So after hearing this news, the king became shattered. Oh, I had come to take the darshan of this beautiful Nil Madhav, and he's lost now. I can't take the darshan. So Narad Muni, who was traveling with him, comforted, the king, and said, Sri Krishna reveals himself to his loving devotees. Be assured, your desire to see the Lord will be realized upon reaching Purushottam Kshetra. Lord Brahma told me that the Supreme Lord will appear again in a unique form, specially to fulfill your desire. So Nil Madhav disappeared to appear as Jagannath. So leaving their chariot, Narad Muni led the king to a clearing amidst a dense forest surrounding Nilagiri hill. There they saw a ferocious deity of Lord Nrsimhadev, like Ugra Nrsimhadev deity. Narad Muni worshipped the deity, so Lord Nrsimhadev deity was there, before Lord Nrsimhadev appeared. Lord Nrsimhadev had not appeared till yet, but his deity was there and was worshipped. So one has to understand that, this is of the first Satyuga of Swayambhanu Manu. By that time, Lord Nrsimhadev had not appeared. So, people many time ask us that, did everyone know about all the incarnation and expansion of Krishna even before previously they coming? Yes, they know. Nrsimhadev was worshipped. He was worshipped by Narad Muni, even though Lord Nrsimhadev had not appeared yet. But Narad Muni worshipped him. And this is the first, Satyuga of Swayambhava Manu. So Narad worshipped the deity and showed King Indradumna the Kalpa Vriksha tree under which Lord Nil Madhav previously stood. So jahan pe Nil Madhav was standing, under that Kalpa Vriksha tree, he showed him. Now this is that tree where Nil Madhav used to stand, and now he's lost. You can no longer take his darshan now. So then there was a Akashvani. There was Akashvani, and it instructed, the king to follow Narad's instruction. So Narad told the king to build a beautiful temple for Lord Nrsimhadev and perform 1,000 Ashwamegha Yajna. 1,000 Ashwamegha Yajna. So this is all Indradum Maharaj's purification happening. he has to purify himself. So then only Krishna gives darshan. Krishna doesn't give darshan like that. If you want to take Krishna's darshan, then you need that kind of sukriti, that kind of bhakti, that kind of pious deed. For example, it is said, one who has worshipped Vishnu for 1000 years, that person gets for 1000 lifetimes, that person gets the chance to chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Mahamantra. If you have worshipped Lord Vishnu for 1000 lifetimes. Similarly, Narad Muni told the king to make a beautiful temple for Nrsimhadev and perform 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna. So what is Ashwamedha Yajna? Yeah, the horse is left free, and you have to become the king, conqueror. So the horse left Bharat Varsha, and it went to other Varsha also, and the whole everywhere, Yeah, so this was done 1000 times. Then you get the darshan of Krishna. Otherwise you don't get. So we all, we say, अरे chanting कर रहे हैं, कृष्णा का तो अनुभूति हो नहीं रही हमको. अरे chanting कर रहे हैं, कृष्णा कब देगा दर्शन? अरे chanting कर रहे हैं, इतना ये इतना वो. 1000 यज्ञ किए इन्होंने, उसके बाद में कृष्णा दर्शन देता है. So meanwhile, Narad Muni went to the heavens and returned carrying a deity of Nrsimhadev to be installed in the temple built by Indradumna. So this Nrsimhadev temple, which was, which is this Nrsimhadev deity, which Narad Muni got from the, from heavenly planets, that deity, it's still there. It is still there. If you have been to Jagannath Purī, how many have been to Jagannath Purī? Yeah, so, just a little away from Jagannath Purī, where the Gundicha Mandir is. From Gundicha Mandir means where Jagannath goes every, after Ratha Yatra, by evening, when he reaches Gundicha. He leaves Jagannath temple and reaches Gundicha. So, just north of Gundicha Mandir, on the Grand Road, just north of Gundicha Mandir, there is a Nrsimhadev temple. So this deity which Narad Muni had brought, personally, it's still installed. It's still there. You can imagine for last crores of years that deity is being worshipped. Yeah, same deity is there. Same deity which Narad Muni brought. So now I'll tell you one more secret. So during, when he was doing the final sacrifice, King Indradumna, so some of the citizens informed him, that, we have seen a wonderful tree floating in the ocean waves. Wonderful, wood floating in the ocean. So from the distance we perceive it's very sweet smell and it's dazzling effulgence. It is emanating from its, So looking closely, we found the symbol of Vishnu on this extraordinary log. The symbol of Vishnu, Gada, Padma Gada, Chakra and lotus. Chakra, Padma, Shankha. So then King Indradumna collected the tree and kept it on the altar in the Gundicha temple. Again, Akashvani happened. O king, a carpenter will come to carve the Lord's proper form. So now you have to understand, can anyone say, what is this wood? Who is this wood? What is this wood? But Krishna appeared 5000 years back. And this is of Satyuga. Yeah, but Krishna appeared 5000 years back. But this is of the first Satyuga of Swayambhava Manu. This is Krishna's body, yes. But which Krishna's body? Because Krishna appeared 5000 years back. मैंने hint दे दिया. थोड़ा और दिमाग लगाओ. Yeah, to make Jagannath only. But which Krishna's body is this? Because Krishna to appeared 5000 years back. But this wood was got by Indradumna crores of years back. No, this is Krishna only. This is Krishna only. No, Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma. He doesn't appear in first Manu. He appears once in a day of Brahma. Not Avatari. I mean, this is Avatari only, not Avatar. Avatari only. Okay, now. I told Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma. And what was this? This was the first Satyuga of this day of Brahma. right? Sambhu Manu, first Satyug, right? So by logic, this wood would be of the last day of Brahma, which Krishna appeared, and Krishna left. Yes, previous day of Brahma, which Krishna left his body, that wood they found and made. So this Krishna who left 5000 years back, उनकी बॉडी का वुड अभी तक नहीं मिला है. वो अगले दिन में मिलेगा. समझ में आया? जो कृष्णा ने अभी है वो अभी तक वुड उनका नहीं मिला है अभी तक. That will be found in the next day of Brahma. This wood which was found, that was from the previous day of Brahma, which they found. And this wood Indradumna kept, in the altar of Gundicha. And then there was Akashvani. O king, a carpenter will come to carve the Lord's proper form. Play music to cover the sound of carving. Allow the carpenter 21 days to complete the work. Disaster will follow if anyone interrupts the carving. कोई इंटरफेयर मत करना. 21 डेज लगेंगे तो कारपेंटर आएगा. वो कारपेंटर कौन है? Who is the carpenter who is going to come? Yeah, Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the carpenter who is going to come. So many people wonder, how are such big, amazing structures formed? You have to understand that Vishwakarma is the most expert. He comes and makes those things. So it is not that the Kailash temple. Anyone has seen the Kailash temple, how it is built from one rock, and people are surprised that who built that temple. Vishwakarma built that temple. Vishwakarma built that temple. You can see the picture of that. It is just carved from one rock, and it is carved inside out, not from top side down, but inside out it is carved. So it was Vishwakarma, Dvārakā also, Ayodhya also, all these things. Vishwakarma gets this chance to carve. So बोला कि 21 days लगेंगे, and जब तक वो काम कर रहे हैं, अब कीर्तन करो बाहर, लाउड भजन कीर्तन करो, लेकिन उनको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना. If you disturb him, then finish. Then there will be if you interrupt him, then there will be major problem. Disaster will come, disaster. So after some time, an old carpenter arrived, fashioned 4 deities. So जो log था इनसे 4 deities he was about to make. So which are the 4 deities? We only know Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadrā. चौथी deity कौन सी आ गई? Sudarshan, yes, Sudarshan. So when the work started, every day he used to do. There was noise, every day he used to do. So then, this Indradumna, one day he was not hearing the noise. He said, what happened? There is no noise. What happened? Why Parvati will be there with Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra? What will she do with Krishna, Subhadra and Balarāma? Parvati is there with Lord Shiva. What will she do here? So, then the day, there was no noise coming. So Indradumna became very anxious. Kya ho gaya? Why the carpenter is stopped? Why he stopped? So he became so anxious that he went inside to see what happened. उनको लगा कि carpenter लगता कहीं भाग गया. So he went inside. So when he went inside, he opened the door and he saw, then he realized, अरे आकाशवाणी ने बोला था कि if you come before 21 days, then there will be a disaster for you. So but he had opened the door, so the Vishwakarma vanished, and the deities were half complete. So he became so devastated, seeing Lord half complete. And then the carpenter has also gone. So what to do? So he he was about to commit suicide. So obviously, Krishna is merciful. Bhakti is not dependent on anything. Disaster, no disaster. Bhakti, Krishna wants to reveal something, so he reveals. So then Krishna said, Narada Muni, oh, ruko. Lord, it is Lord Krishna's desire. Even though Akashvani was done by Brahma ji, so Brahma ji ko bhul jao. Krishna unse uppar hai. So there will be no disaster for you. Don't worry. There will be no disaster. This is the form how Krishna wants to appear on this planet. His eyes wide open. His this. Like that. So then Indradumna asked Narad Muni, why is this form? Why Krishna has appeared in this form? So Narad Muni told, that is now of the previous day of Brahma. What happened? Narad Muni is telling. Okay, so Narad Muni told Indradumna that actually Krishna. So this is the second story why.